Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to From the Nosebleeds. I'm Joey Gunnar here with Trent Finnegan. We got a lot to talk about today. It is the Nuggets season opener, and we got to hear Bo Nix and Sean Payton both speak at their press conference yesterday. But most importantly, some news broke out very early this morning about a former Nugget, Chauncey Billups, who was arrested by the FBI due to his ties with an illegal gambling ring run by the mafia. I am not making this up. It broke very early this morning by Shams Charania. Insane, Trent. What the hell happened this morning?
Yeah, so just unfathomable. And like this guy, like this is Mr. Colorado. Born in Denver, went to George Washington, won Mr. Colorado 3 times at George Washington, then went to CU. His number 4 is retired by CU, and then played for the Nuggets in 2 separate stints.
Yeah.
Like this is a guy who's
like the Colorado kid. Like this is the guy that's homegrown.
People love Chauncey Billups here in Denver and in Colorado. And to see this happen this morning is just like, holy moly. So
insane.
So what we're dealing with here, so there's 2 separate, or it's like a big gambling probe, and then there's 2 separate branches of it. One is betting on NBA props. That is not what Billups is in.
Mm-mm.
That's what Terry Rozier and Damon Jones are a part of.
Yeah, who are also both arrested earlier this morning by the FBI.
Yes, Billups is part of an illegal or a rigged poker scheme with the mafia. And this is crazy. Like this isn't somebody counting cards. This isn't The Hangover when he's counting cards to try to make his 80K. This is they had a table full of people. Let's say there were 5 players, and this is just from what all the FBI and the attorneys were saying at their press conference this morning. This is the information I gathered from this. Say there's 5 players at a table, and the dealer makes it 6. The dealer and 3 players are in on this scheme. And then there's 2 people they call fish who aren't in on it. And there's the card shuffling machines are all like bought off some weird sub-market somewhere. And they have like cameras in them. And these cameras send a signal to some mafia house who then relays the information back to the poker table. At the poker table, they have somebody who they tag as the quarterback. And that quarterback does some weird signal to, I don't know, tell what cards are coming. And they're rinsing these fish, who they call them, for thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, this
insane.
And the FBI called it very sophisticated cheating technologies. Like,
yeah,
it is. And like the Italian New York City mafia is like, Billups is in, or allegedly Billups is in with this. It is.
Yeah, it's insane. It sounds like I'm reading the script to the next Casino movie or something. It's
literally
absurd.
And you can see I'm speechless. Like
it's insane to hear this. This is news that I haven't seen before, and it's just crazy the ties that he has to Colorado. And yeah, the EDNY U.S. Attorney Joseph Nikola Jr. said in a press conference earlier this morning, quote, "The second indictment about Chauncey involves 31 defendants alleged to have participated in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. These defendants, which included former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology, which you just said, to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. The games in the New York area were backed by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families of La Casa Nostra." I didn't think that those crime families still existed. Those are like families of stories. Like we're actually talking about Gambinos. We're talking about Gambinos and Chauncey Billups in the same sentence. And it's insane. Like I woke up this morning and I saw the ESPN headlines, and first I saw Terry Rozier and I'm like, well, that makes sense. You know, Terry Rozier, he's him betting on sports doesn't really surprise me. But then Chauncey, the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, isn't even betting on sports. He's just rubbing. He's taking money from people at poker tables due to high technology systems. What the hell? I'm shocked. I'm completely and utterly shocked. Insane news to wake up to this morning. I mean, like, go on.
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's like you said, like the Gambino Mafia is like what comes to mind for me is like 1920s New York City and like prohibition and like
literally.
running those illegal things. Not 2025 Mr. Colorado basketball, Chauncey Billups playing poker.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. This
It's
is
shocking.
insane.
We don't know what's going to happen to him yet. We do know that he's going to have his court date, but I mean, with the stuff that they have on him, it seems like let me just say, he's not going to be coaching the Blazers this year, next year, or any years in the future. That's what I'm taking from this.
Yeah, and he was on the sideline last night. They lost by 4 to the Timberwolves. I watched his press conference last night. His press conference last night was as normal as you could possibly be. And here we are 10 hours after. The game ended at probably, I'll call it like 11 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Roughly. And here we are. So he's gonna be in court in Oregon today, is what the reports are saying.
That's today. Yeah. I don't. Do we know where he was arrested though? Like, do we know? Like, did the FBI just break into his house, like Wolf of Wall Street style?
It says he was arrested in Oregon.
In Oregon.
So I don't know if they were waiting outside the Moda Center last night, just like waiting for the team bus to leave, or what.
Could have been. I mean, they were at home, so Portland was at home for that game. I wouldn't be surprised if he got home and they set up like a state, like a sting for him. You know, they were waiting outside of his house. Like, that's like just fun to imagine. Like, this is how, and obviously terrible. But hey, you do something like this, and they've got hard proof on you. I can't say I feel bad for you. I don't, and it sucks because he's a Colorado kid. But come on, you got to be smarter. You're a millionaire. You're a head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, and you feel the need to go mess with the Gambino crime family? Come on, man. Like, it's shocking. It's nothing less than shocking. That's the only word I can give to describe this. It's insane. It's insane. But we should move on to some more fun news, because tonight we get to see the Nuggets without Chauncey Billups take the floor for the first time this season. Trent, you got your Nuggets shirt on. I'm so excited. I was going to wear my overalls, and then I remembered I'm coming to the office today, and I don't really want to be wearing my Nuggets overalls all day, but exciting. The Nuggets are taking on the Golden State Warriors. This is the second game that the Golden State Warriors have already played this season, and the Nuggets are looking to start hot, and I expect them to do so. We saw Jamal Murray in the preseason, playing pretty well. He was playing like he was a man on fire, and starting a season hot is something that Jamal Murray has not done very often. And you spoke on that last week, saying that that's kind of the reason that he hasn't been an all-star. That could change this year. And I mean, we had our conversations about the All-Stars, but tonight I'm expecting a hot start. You're going to Golden State. You're going to California. Can the Nuggets beat the Warriors? I think yes. And it's going to come down to a few things. But Trent, what are we seeing in this game? Are you excited for it? Of course you are, but like, get us hyped up.
I'm so pumped. I mean, Nuggets basketball, man. You know how awesome it is to watch Nikola Jokic play basketball 82 times?
It's a gift.
You know how awesome that is?
It's a gift.
It's so much fun.
We shouldn't take for granted.
You got all the new bench guys. You got the new coaching staff who just whooped up on our fellow media members the other day in the scrimmage, 114-16.
Oof.
But this is like Nuggets basketball. This is the best chance that this town has to win a title year in and year out. They have a better chance than the Avalanche. They have a better chance than the Broncos every single year to be the best team in their respective league. And we're gonna tell tonight. I mean, I don't know. The Warriors looked very good on Tuesday night.
They did.
They got a good shooting night from Buddy Hield. Curry didn't have the best shooting night,
but he hit the clutch three.
He hit that. Oh my goodness, he hit that 40-footer. We just got to be thankful that Noah Eagle isn't calling the game tonight, because Curry. Yeah. When Noah Eagle's calling his games, Curry finds this higher level. So
it's insane. It's actually crazy. Like that comparison right there. It's funny that you bring that up, but it is insane.
But I think the big thing tonight is Jokic is gonna get his, obviously. But I'm looking at Murray and Cam Johnson, because Cam Johnson was awesome in the preseason. He did everything right except make the 3-pointers. He was in a shooting slump. It's fine. Everybody's been in a shooting slump before. And it's the preseason. But he was doing the little things. He was cutting off of Jokic. He was making passes, driving and kicking. He was playing solid defense. And that's what Michael Porter Jr. didn't give to this team, and that's what Cam Johnson is going to bring to the table. Even though he didn't hit the threes in the preseason, it was still great. It was still great to see what he could bring to the table. So I think him and I think Jamal Murray, we need Jamal Murray to keep that fast start going, because you can't afford to be stuck in the middle in this I almost call it the AFC and the Western Conference another year, because we know how deep, how talented it is. You need to win as many games as you can early while other teams are still figuring it out. So I think Murray and Johnson are going to be the two X factors. I feel like we know what we're going to get from Jokic, we know what we're going to get from Gordon, and we know what we're going to get from Christian Brown.
Yeah, I can see that. I hope that we don't know what we're going to get from Christian Brown, if that makes any sense. He just signed a massive extension. I hope we get a little bit more from him. We should than what we've seen in the past couple seasons. I mean, this is a guy that's had a great offseason. You know, he's been working. He got a big extension. I want to see what he's able to do from the three-point line as a defender on the perimeter. We know that he's a great defender on the perimeter, but can he step it up a couple levels? I really hope so. And there was something that was said a lot last season in the playoffs by the commentators there that I really liked. And it was during the OKC and Denver matchup. They were saying something along the lines of Jokic is going to get his, Shea's going to get his. Who's going to be the second player on each team? Does Jamal Murray outperform J-Dub? And I think that kind of stuff still, relates to tonight's game. Jokic is going to get his. Steph Curry's probably going to get his. Who's going to be the second best player and who's going to be better of each of them? Is it going to be Jamal Murray beating out Jimmy Butler, or is it going to be Buddy Hield beating out Cam Johnson? That kind of thing. You know what I mean? And sidebar for a second, I do want to talk about MPJ just on one thing. The man had 5 assists last night in his debut with the Nets.
Yeah.
What a new man over there in Brooklyn. But back to what we're talking about. It's going to come down to who's the second best player for the Nuggets. And, with the way that Jamal Murray has played in the preseason, if he can keep that hot streak going into the regular season, then it's going to be Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is able to outperform anybody like Jimmy Butler. I mean, we saw him outperform Jimmy Butler back in 2023 in the NBA Finals. Don't even get me started on what Nikola Jokic was doing, because Jimmy Butler couldn't catch up to Jamal Murray. So if that kind of stuff still stays the same, if Jamal Murray can outperform Jimmy and Buddy Hield, if Cam Johnson can outperform Buddy Hield and Draymond Green, this should be a good win for the Nuggets. And the Nuggets, when they go to, Golden State, when they go to San Francisco and play in that arena, they take over. We've seen Jamal Murray hit buzzer beaters. We can go back as far as Monte Morris. I believe Gary Harris also hit a buzzer beater. Those 3 players, it might just be Monte and Nikola Jokic, but I feel like Gary Harris also turned up a few times in San Francisco. But that kind of stuff never changes. They've made that their second home. I got the Nuggets winning by a lot tonight, and it's the season opener, so you never know. But they own the Warriors as of now.
Yeah, I like that. And I love what you said about the secondary guys. So what my mind goes to is I'm looking at the past 5 champions. We'll look at it. Last year, and I'm looking past the star player, because obviously every team had that star player.
Mm-hmm.
But the Thunder won that title last year because J-Dub and Chet and Caruso were awesome.
Yeah.
24, the Celtics, Jaylen Brown was great. Kristaps was great. Drew Holiday was great. 23, Jamal was great. Gordon was great. Porter wasn't good, but we'll save that for another
But Bruce
time.
Brown was?
Bruce Brown was great. 2022, Clay was great. Jordan Poole was awesome for the Warriors.
He was insane.
The Bucks in
series.
21, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all these teams win these titles, A, because they're healthy, but B, because their star player is getting the help. Like, we know Jokic, Giannis, Curry, Shea. We know what those guys can go out and win a championship.
Yeah.
If they don't get the help from their guys, they're stuck in the water. There's nothing they can do about it because the other teams can hone in on them. And the Nuggets won in 2023, like you were saying, because Murray was outpacing the second best player on every other team in those respective series.
Yeah.
And Aaron Gordon was playing well. And Bruce Brown was playing well. So I know what Jokic is going to do. But if the Denver Nuggets want to win a championship, we need Jamal Murray. We need all the other guys to elevate their game around Jokic.
Yeah. No, I love that conversation. I'm just thinking back as far as I can get, like, the last team to not have like a true great number 2 to win a championship. The furthest back I can maybe think is like 2019. Kawhi Leonard was a man who could not be stopped. I don't know if there was anybody.
Even Pascal Siakam was phenomenal.
I guess, yeah, Spicy P was all right. He was good. He was good. I wouldn't call him phenomenal, but I would say that he was good. He was a good enough secondary player on that. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, I just love the guy. But even before that, you go back as far as
Dirk?
ever. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
there
it
wasn't
might be
really
Dirk.
a big number 2 on that team that I can think of.
Yeah, that it might be Dirk. It's probably Dirk, like the last player on a championship team to not really have like any player who is going to give you a secondary 20 a night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Nuggets knew Jamal Murray was going to give you 20 a night. The Raptors, even in 2019, Pascal Siakam was good for 20 basically every night, and 7 rebounds, something like that. But yeah, no, I definitely see that, and that's the kind of thing that holds true throughout the regular season too. Is how well is your secondary player going to be, and in the playoffs, it's shortened. You have your 1 and you have your 2 for the Nuggets. It's obviously Jokic, and then Jamal is the second option. But in the regular season, the second option could be anybody. I mean, we see times where Christian Brown is leading the team in scoring. We've seen Jamal Murray put up a triple-double while Nikola Jokic is riding the bench for most of the game. Now, that could happen more often this season because of the fact that the Nuggets have Jonas Valanciunas, who they probably feel more comfortable in than they do with people like Dario Saric playing. But Jokic, in the past couple of years, has played most of all of the games. Like he's almost had to play a full 48 minutes every single game just to keep them alive, because as soon as he comes off, the box score just goes down. And I don't think that that's going to be the case this season. They're deeper. They're better. The Nuggets can get out there and start running the floor without Nikola Jokic leading the team. This is going to be a test against a good team in the Warriors. Now, I'm not calling them a championship contender, but this is one of those teams that's going to give you hell in the postseason. They're gonna probably make the postseason, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Can the Nuggets start the season hot and beat them? I think yes, and it's going to come down to how well that second player plays. It is.
I agree with you. Nuggets. It's interesting. The Nuggets were 1.5 point favorites, and I think it flipped after the Warriors played so well against the Lakers the other night. I think that's more the Lakers suck than the Warriors are like.
Yeah.
The Warriors are good. I'm not trying to say the Warriors aren't good. The Warriors are good, but the Lakers suck so bad that they made the Warriors like the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close one. I do think that the Nuggets are going to win. Like you said, there's just something about playing in San Francisco these last couple of years in that Chase Center. Like, I don't know what unlocks in them. I don't know if it's revenge for that 2022 postseason series when
I think it is. I think it is.
Were out, but I think Nuggets win by like 5 points. Get it kind of high scoring, like maybe like a 119, 114 type of deal. But
yeah,
I'm confident the Nuggets can get this one done, but I don't think it's going to be easy by any means.
Yeah, I didn't even see that they were underdogs until just now. I just checked. That's insane to me. I mean, the Nuggets are one of the best crafted rosters. I've been very vocal about the fact that this is a better team than the 2023 championship team. I mean, think of all the pieces that you had on that squad, and now look at this one and say that they aren't better almost everywhere. Even with just age and the same guys, they are much better now. Going out against the Warriors and being underdogs in the first game of the season feels disgusting to me. I mean, they're going to win this game. I would be shocked if they don't win by at least 5, like you said. But the game's at 8 p.m. tonight. I'm not going to be able to turn away. Also, Vikings-Chargers tonight, too. Definitely not going to be able to turn away from that one. I'm going to have my dual TV set up in my house. So I'm going to be walking around, checking everything out. But speaking of football, let's move on to that. I know I love talking about the Nuggets. We both love talking about the Nuggets, but there was some stuff that came out of the presser yesterday. We got to hear Sean Payton and Bo Nix speak. And we'll just hit on Sean Payton first, because, of course, the talk of the week basing around the Broncos has been Sean Payton's comments about Russell Wilson, and then Russell Wilson's backfire to him. Now it was all cleared up. I'll give you more quotes for that. Cleared up by Sean Payton, because he's basically saying that he wasn't talking about Russ. So just to preface this, let's throw out the first video of Sean Payton making a comment about how they wish the QB change was made a little bit later than when the Broncos played them in New York. Let's play that one first.
They found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
So basically kind of saying that they were hoping that the Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart change wouldn't happen until after the Broncos had played the Giants. That feels like a bit of a slight to me. I can't see any way you'd be like, oh no, he was just talking about how they wanted to play a worse quarterback. Again, that feels like a slight. That feels like a slight to Russell Wilson. Yes. And Russell Wilson was right to think so. And he responded, quote, classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize we were still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Hashtag let's ride. I love the let's ride part of it. But so that was Russ's response. People got stirred up. People were, of course, upset. We talked about it a lot yesterday. Feels like a slight to me. Did it feel like a slight to you, Trent, just to get that out of the way?
Yes, 100%. There's no way to dance around that. That's a slight at Russell Wilson.
Oh, 110%. But Sean Payton gets in front of the podium yesterday, and he has this to say. Let's play the second video here.
And the euphoria, the way that game unfolded, that was strictly about Dart. I mean, and I that was in no way, shape, or form anything that was directed at Russ. So, and I might be able to see how he might perceive that, but coming off that win and watching how he played, yeah, that wasn't any intention at all.
Really? I might be able to perceive how he would think it was directed at him. All right, Sean, come on. That's just ridiculous. Own up to it. Take it on the chin. Say, yeah, it was commented at Russ. We were hoping that we could have beat him rather than Dart. You won the game. Let it hang for a second. Talk your talk, Sean. Don't shy away and tuck your tail between your legs. That's what that felt like to me. Like, come on. Own it and talk about how you were talking about Russ. Yeah, we wanted to see Russ back in Denver. I know the fans would have been really looking forward to seeing that reunion there and that revenge game on both sides of the ball. That sounds great. If I would have said that, hey, if he were to have said what I just said there, I guarantee that Broncos country would have been so riled up and happy to hear that. But no, he's shying away from it. Own it.
Own it. And I just there's very polarizing opinions on Sean Payton around the NFL.
Oh yeah.
And it's stuff like this. He does stuff like this and people are not a fan of it whatsoever. And then he's like, well, I see how Russ could take it as a shot to him. Everybody took it as a shot to Russ.
Every single person.
If the entire country hears your statement and takes it the same way, like there's not differing opinions, the entire country says, oh, this is a shot at Russell Wilson. And then you come out here on Wednesday and you're like, oh, no way, shape, or form that was at Russ. Come on.
No, I wasn't talking about Russ.
Exactly.
Come on, what are we doing?
It's like, dude, it's fine. It's literally fine.
Yeah.
I love a little good beef, a little good banter.
Yeah.
But when you now are shying away from it, and I'm just like sitting here, I'm like, Sean, like just own up to it. And now I don't know. It's just he never had to say it on Sunday, and then he doubled down on it in the wrong way on Wednesday. It's weird. It's so weird.
Yesterday I said in the boxing match it was 1-0 Russ. There was a comment that I saw that somebody said that it was actually 33-32 Sean Payton. I love that comment. I love that a lot. But now it's 2-0 Russ. He's down for the count. 2-0 Russ. Russ wins again in this one. It's unfortunate. I wish I wasn't saying that, but Russell Wilson wins this battle with Sean Payton because he got him to succeed. But Bo Nix, that's somebody that can actually talk at a press conference. That's somebody who can speak to the press with a little bit more dignity than Sean Payton, if I want to be a little bit harsh. But Bo Nix took the podium yesterday. He got to speak about a lot of different things, and a few of the questions that he was asked were really great questions. And he was asked one about if the team is encouraged by being 5-2 despite not yet playing their best football, and he responded, quote, yes, for sure. We've looked in the mirror and seen all the different ways that we've hurt ourselves. We know we have a penalty problem. We know we have an execution problem at times. I wouldn't even say at all times, because then it's hard to score 33 points without executing in a quarter. So it's there. We just have to find the way to do it at all times and not lose our mental and physical focus. I love that so much. He's saying, yes, we have a problem with execution at times, but at other times we're able to score 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's beautifully put. Incredibly well said. And it really shows that he still has a lot of confidence. And how could he not? Because again, you look at the record, they're 5-2. You should have confidence, but you need to get your team going. And he clearly understands that. It's a great quote. Great quote from Bo Nix.
And this is, for anyone in Broncos country, this is what you want to hear from your starting quarterback.
Exactly.
You don't want to hear all that, oh, well, things are great and awesome, which at times it looks like that, but most of the game, everybody watches these games, to have a quarterback who's like, hey, I know that there's problems. I know that we have penalty problems. I know that we're inconsistent, But being 5-2 is a good feeling, which is what we were saying yesterday. Like, hey, you have all these issues and you're still 5-2, third in the AFC, first in the AFC West. You got to be happy with that because you know how much you can fix to be even better than 5-2. So I think it's awesome that the Broncos have this leader, and him himself, he's struggling. We know that. Like, he's had some moments, but there are other times where he is not hitting his targets accurately. He's getting a little happy feet in the pocket. So to have a guy who's not playing his best football, who's the leader of your team, to go out and acknowledge all these issues and say, like, hey, I know this is what's happening. I know how to fix it. I know we need to fix it. I think you got to be happy as a Broncos fan to be like, hey, we have a guy who's level-headed and knows how to lead this football team.
And that's one thing that we've known since Bo Nix got into the league, got with the Broncos. He's a leader. He will take it on the chin. He will say what the problem is and that they know that they can fix it. Don't forget, Bo Nix, and I'm saying this more for myself because I've been critical about the Broncos this season. Bo Nix led the Broncos to the playoffs for the first time in 10 years last season. He did that. That's the kind of guy that you get with Bo Nix. You get a leader, you get a true dog, somebody who's going to turn up when it matters. This is the season where you're seeing that really come to light. You know, that confidence, that leadership really all stand out there. And he's been doing a great job at getting in front of the podium and saying, hey, getting in front of the microphone, hey, this is my fault. This is the team's fault. We know that we have things to work on. We're going to work on it, but we are confident that we can fix every single problem we have. That's the kind of guy you get in Bo Nix, and it's great. And he, you know, when there's something he needs to comment on where it's like, hey, we can be better, there's also something to comment on with him for, hey, I did a pretty good job. But that's not the way Bo Nix ever puts it, because he was asked about being the first player to ever record 2 passing and 2 rushing touchdowns in the same quarter. And I love this response too. He said, quote, that's pretty cool. When you're in the league like this and you're playing with a bunch of professionals, when you're the first to do something, it's pretty cool. But at the same time, there are a lot of guys who have been the first to do a lot of things. I think just because there are so many situations, a lot of football out there, and so a lot of firsts that are going to be, wow.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Like, hey, you're the first player to ever pass and rush for 2 touchdowns, both 2 passing, 2 touchdowns in a freaking quarter, and then lead the Broncos to a 19-0 comeback, putting up 33 points in the fourth quarter. And your response is, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I could do that. That's
very humble.
What this guy, just every time he gets in front of a mic, I fall a little bit more in love with him. You got to love him. I mean, that kind of stuff just shows what a leader he is.
No, exactly. And it's like, and I feel like when you are looking for a good quarterback in this league, you need a guy who obviously can play in between the lines physically. You need a guy who can play in between the lines mentally, reading coverages, pre-snap adjustments, audibles at the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. But more important than those two is you need a guy who's good mentally outside of the white lines on that grass field. Mm-hmm. You need a guy who has confidence in himself. He has confidence in his team. And I don't think it matters too much if he's a cocky guy, if he's humble, or how he goes about his mannerisms. But if he's a good leader of the team off the field and he stays level-headed like this, I just think it's awesome. Again, it's literally what you were just saying about the last quote. He is very mature. He's a great leader for this football team. And like you just said, every time he steps up to the podium, it's like it's hard for Broncos fans to not like what he says every single time.
Yeah, he's great. Broncos country, he's the guy. You know, again, we've been critical about some of his ball. I know I have, but some of his passes have not been great this season. Some of his reads have not been great. He's thrown a couple really bad balls. He's made a couple really bad reads, but he's still young. He's played, 25, 26 games now in the NFL. He's not going to be perfect yet. Tom Brady wasn't perfect right away. Patrick Mahomes wasn't perfect right away. They had flaws to work on. I mean, look at Baker Mayfield. This guy is now one of the better quarterbacks in the league, probably a top 3 quarterback in the league. And he started his first, 4 seasons in the garbage dump that is the Cleveland Browns. And then went to the Panthers and didn't do much there either. And, you know, you got to give him time. And Bo Nix knows that. I mean, you got to give Bo time.
Exactly. And Sam Darnold's in that same boat.
Oh, I love Sam.
Geno Smith to a lesser extent. He had those like 2 solid years with Seattle. Now he's bad again, but it's like the point I'm trying to make is like, hey, not everybody is a stud day one, like
Daniel
Lamar
Jones.
Jackson was, or some Daniel Jones this season.
Daniel freaking
And now
Jones.
the difference is with those guys, they all had a coaching change. They all got to change of scenery. I don't think that Bo is going to need a change of scenery because he fits with Payton and what Payton wants to do so well. It's taken him time to get comfortable to what Payton wants to do and how they go about running an offense. And, hey, do we want to screen here? Do we want to dig route? Do we want to run? Still figuring that out. And, like, Payton and Breeze, like, it took them – like, they were good in that Super Bowl year in 2009, but they were their best in 17, 18, 19, way down the line. So these things take time for these quarterbacks to grow. And I know everybody jokes that he played 61 college games or whatever, and he was old for his pick. But in terms of being an NFL quarterback, Bo Nix is still very young. He's got plenty of time to develop, and I agree with you. It looks bad at times, but this is still, as of right now, this is the guy for the Broncos.
And that college games argument really pisses me off because it's like college football is literally a different sport than NFL football. It could not be more different. Like it's, you look at the coaches. That's why coaches who go from the NFL to college and from college to the NFL, they don't work out as often as you'd think. Like, I mean, you obviously look at Harbaugh. That's an exception there, like with some of those guys. But it's an entirely different sport to coach. It's an entirely different sport to play. And yeah, of course, they're the same game, but they're played so differently. And 61 college games means nothing the first time you step onto an NFL field. It means entirely nothing. I mean, look at Caleb Williams. He was the best player in college football for a while. Everybody knew he was going to be the first overall pick, and he's just kind of just kind of with Chicago.
Yeah.
But
There's so many players. Yeah. There's so many players who are bad There's so many players who are awesome in college football, and their game just doesn't translate.
Yeah,
and Tim Tebow. And Bo Nix is one of those guys who his game translates. It's just like we're saying, it just takes time, and it's fine. People got to be patient. This whole core is under contract until like 2028. Yeah, there's plenty of time.
They've got time. 100%. But that'll do it for today's episode of From the Nosebleeds. Thank you guys for joining. Go watch tonight's game. The Nuggets gonna be on TV playing the Golden State Warriors. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I woke up this morning. I was like, oh my God, it's Thursday. I can't remember the last time I've been this excited for a Thursday. I'm so excited. But it's going to be a great game tonight. Trent and I both have them winning. Trent by 5. I think probably closer to 7 or 8. I've got them up there beating the Dubs in a good battle. But that'll do it for today's episode. We will see you guys all tomorrow, of course, talking about the Nuggets game that happens tonight and the big Broncos game taking place this weekend against the Cowboys. Will they be able to stand up to the high-octane offense of Dallas? But that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining. Until tomorrow, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.